Pete Buttigieg is the latest Democrat to question trans athletes' participation in sports. The former presidential candidate and current 2028 presidential hopeful made the comments on NPR's Morning Edition after host Steve Inskeep asked what his approach is to trans issues.
Most reasonable people would recognize that there are serious fairness issues if you just treat this as not mattering when a trans athlete wants to compete in women's sports.
Meaning the parent who's complained about this has a case, in your opinion?
Sure.
And besides that being just like an anti-trans talking point without any real evidence to back it up, it's also a worrying sign of where the Democratic Party is headed on trans issues, particularly hearing this from the party's most visible gay figurehead. Buttigieg is the latest 2028 Democratic presidential hopeful to question trans people's right to participate in sports, or even the right to exist at all. And it's an alarming trend as the party looks to regroup following Donald Trump's election win last year. Earlier this year, California Governor Gavin Newsom, also a top candidate for the 2028 Democratic presidential ticket, made several statements on his podcast against trans inclusion in sports, including in an episode featuring conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
Would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that.
And former Chicago mayor and Obama chief of staff Rahm Emanuel, who has also been mulling a presidential run, straight up spewed anti-trans rhetoric on a recent appearance on conservative commentator Megyn Kelly's radio show. After saying that he was opposed to gender-affirming care for trans youth, opposed to trans women participating in women's sports, and opposed to trans women being housed in women's prisons, he also just straight up said this.
Can a man become a woman?
Can a man become a woman? No.
Yikes. And here's the thing. Buttigieg and Newsom and all of these other Democrats have said that they support LGBTQ+ rights. Again, Buttigieg is gay, and couch these comments with a lot of talk around respecting trans people. But let's be clear. Focusing in on this idea of fairness in sports is parroting the language of what Republicans and anti-trans advocates have been pushing for years. That is what is going on here. And it's disappointing to see Buttigieg joining the chorus.